themselves, they'll introduce their piece, and just some coaching on some appropriate responses to public readings of literature, poems, short stories, short pieces, and so on. So, you might think it's a very staid affair where you have to sit with your hands folded and not do or say anything. That's not true at all. What would be most appreciated by the writers, even during a piece, are a number of different verbal and physical responses, including but not limited to, I'll just lead with my favorite, it's this. I'd invite you to try it with me, just to Or you can give like an oh. Like something strikes you. Oh. That's a good one. If you hear again in the course of a piece, if something strikes you, and you're at a loss for sounds, you can give the snaps. You can snap. We respond well to snapping. All of those are wonderful responses in the middle of a piece, and I think will offer support to a reader. When a reader is finished, say they finish their piece, they say thank you, and you're sitting kind of stunned at the beauty of it. Any number of responses is most welcome and wonderful, including, again, not limited to, clapping. Let's all warm up our hands, clapping. Yes. You can also give the snaps. If you feel like snapping, you can stomp your feet. I'm not sure what it's not very resonant, but you get the idea. You can holler and hoot and be supportive out loud. No, okay. Whatever you'd like to offer by way of verbal support is wonderful. So I just want to make sure we are feeling warmed up or ready to be out loud or ready to support the writers. Before we begin, I want to give one quick note as a plug to where we are, which is Majors and Quinn. For how many of you is this your first visit to this bookstore? Okay, first of all, it's amazing. So if you like bookstores, you're probably already familiar, but if you like bookstores, you can look around and get they've got a wide range of things, new stuff, old stuff, used stuff, signed stuff, annotated stuff, all kinds of things. Majors and Quinn is also one of the few remaining independent bookstores, not just in the Twin Cities, but like in the Midwest and the country. And in that sense, very much deserves your support. And the final thing I'll note, if you have forgotten, the 14th is that delightful holiday that we all love so much, Valentine's Day. So if you're either thinking to yourself, oh shoot, I have to get that person something, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you're thinking, if I get that person something, that'll make them feel bad and they'll have to get me, whatever, I'm not judging. But a great place to buy gifts, gift cards, pads of paper, pens, and so on. So highly encourage lots of wonderful things. So after we're done, browse around a little bit and get that special someone, which very much can be yourself, a Valentine's Day present. All right. Without further ado on that, we'll get started with our reading tonight.
Hello. My name is Jocelyn Gunter, and I will be reading the first piece of this evening entitled Peppermints. And peppermints fell out of my computer. That always happens. Today they are rock hard. I like it when they're saltwater taffy, but at least it's not caramel syrup. That's why he switched to an iPad, to make it much easier to clean. Especially since it's waterproofed now. Still disappointed I don't get to chew on taffy. I pop the red and white disc into my mouth and get to work. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nadia Oyenbust. I'm going to be reading a poem titled I Miss My Mom. 8 dead bugs in a fluorescent light. It's actually 7.5, but I assume at one point that half was whole. My mom hates when I write about bugs in any form, and I hate how I spend my time counting bugs on the ceiling. How much time I spend watching and wondering. I think a lot about how death is poetic, but what makes it poetic is life, and how everything that is half was once whole. 4 big oranges in a bag on the counter. They've sat there untouched. If oranges are the sun, my mother has held the solar system in her hand time and time again. And when she split an orange into halves and asked if I wanted part, I left the sun untouched. Why did I say no to the universe? I think it would have killed me to see her only holding half. 2 of us in a room, so quiet it's unusual. I tell her I think I'm sick in a way that can't be fixed. She tells me everyone is dying, all of the time. She means that we can't fix that we're human. I wish she would say that we didn't need to mend our humanity. I wonder if she's sick too. She's given herself whole while I struggle to be half. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Addie, and this is my first poem titled Lilith. Look up. I swear I've watched the stars so often their rings of fire are engraved in my irises. I am the evolution of bone dust and everlasting promises of lifetimes spent on love. Who am I to be enough for you? Don't go. I swear I've cried your name so often it is embossed on my pillowcase. If you can't give me your hand, I will settle for the scent of your perfume on my skin. Do you know how I desire your company? Tell me, does tea with honey soothe a throat torn from screaming prayers to a God that doesn't listen? Eve is a wife of marrow, and I would give my rib for you if it meant you'd stay. Can you take the apple from me? Promise you won't slip away when wrinkles line my eyes and the day comes when I can't smell the bouquet of vanilla on your wrists. I beg of you, stay. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Emma Harrington, and the poem I'll be reading today is called Candy Heart. I split myself open to show you the inside of my body. With a heavy head, I close my eyes. It's to fantasize. Plaque sticks to my heart. With this pain, it's melancholy. The sweet lies you offer rot my sense of self. Yet you are the one to tear me open. I realized that the end was near. Then, you begged me to tell you what you wanted to hear. Mold grew within my lungs, water seeped into the pockets. Exposed and alone, I scream, yet the noise I can no longer bear. You had to have realized what you were doing to me. Please, tell me that you did. Mistakes like that are more than just a cut. Your whispers raise my hair. And I guess in the end, this has all just been pretend. The knife that I drug along my chest has found its way into your hands. And even after my heart broke, you must have sensed it could fall apart again. Candy Heart.
Hi, my name is Aria, and I will be reading my first piece, Adolescence Lives in You. There's a twinkle in your eye as you hold out your hands to show me a fluttering insect. I tell you it's magnificent. You're proud, excited from your findings. The freckles on your face fold, scattered like snow on your nose. And as you smile, an entire universe dances and shines, little one. You're full of wondrous curiosity, and I wish to shield you from the moth who feasts on your light. You cry in silence, afraid of what your tears mean. It's not a weakness nor a burden. The man who told you so said the same to me. But you are still so full of life. The earth more colorful to your eyes, ashen yet spotted like a fawn's back. Forests grow within them. Your heart red as the most lovely rose, grow thorns to protect it, my love. Its frost may hold you too closely, so when your soft fingers burn crimson, I'll lay a blanket to shut out the ice. You'll be the last to leave home, darling, and oh do I hope to watch you flourish, even if from afar. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Star, and I will be reading my poem, Ethereality. My Mormor would tell me that water heals wounds, that a water nymph would bless me. They'd take away the pain and mend the broken skin. Lake days were times of healing. Baths were there when the body was frozen over. But what about my inner wounds? the scars of nightmares and memories that haunt me. Could water heal those wounds? Would the ethereal beings bless me in safety? Could the water envelop me in a hold that could take me over and protect me from the memories? I sometimes wish the water would consume me, to cover me fully and pull me in, to seep into my open mouth and flow into my lungs, eclipsing my whole self. Please accept me as a nymph and deity of ethereality. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Danny Schiffer, and this is my first piece, Contrasts. The dismal skyline is covered in a blur, the fog obscuring everything and dampening my face. The lights on the skyscrapers reflect colors onto low-lying clouds. The streets don puddles, and I shoulder a brown leather jacket. It smells like something unique. The countryside in May has more stories than most people. Holding you in its empty, spindly arms of green grass, the vibrancy of the foliage striking your eyes violently, with it bouncing off the blue velvet of the sky and running into the orange clouds of sunrise. Cicadas chirp as if they know their season's just started. I wear a black sock and a white sock, and I run down the street pouring rain. They soak through to my ankles and up the bottoms of my jeans. The black top shines with water, and I wring my hands anxiously. And I want a hot shower, but I'm stuck in brown and light gray. You are as far away as comprehension, and butterflies flit through your mind. Poems open up to feel empty. Poetry never means nothing. It's hot and humid, so much it's dampening your face, and the cornfields sing eternity. And it's dusty like never before on the gravel road. Fall seems unreachable to summer, but who's to say she won't love you if you let her? Thank you.
Sure. Hi, I'm Alia. I'm reading a poem I wrote called Daisies, Ducks, and Dandelions, based on a painting called The White Drake by Joseph Crawhall. Cozy and content, boat against bark, ducks waddle downwards, you see them cross your yard. Do nothing to disturb their little swaying tails, as one marches astray, slow and steady like a snail. Leaves sway as they land, you make a huge, huge yawn, reading a book rapidly, laying in the lawn. A duck nestles around, set your book on the soil, caress the duck carefully, relax, the duck won't recoil. Wallow in weeping willows, petals plucking from their plant, tall trees leave a trance, foliage surrounding you, in fact. Daisies and dandelions flicker at duck feet, calmly your eyes close as you fall fast asleep.
Hello, it's Jossie again. I will be reading my second piece entitled Apocalypse. How beautiful must the end of the world be as you lay in the middle of flames, seeing that everything is gone, when smoke and cinder come for your last breath, as the last of your will to fight leaves, to dance as heat erases memory, the fire your soul partner. And now all you have known is heat and cinder. How beautiful the end of the world must be, as you wade into the growing tide and see that everything is gone, when sea foam comes for your last gurgling breath, and you close your eyes, squinting to see the bubble you created is swimming to the surface as you sink. To dream as salt water cleans your lungs, now all you have known is water and foam. Yes, it must be beautiful, the end of the world. How peaceful would the struggle for survival to be? After flames have died, to slowly sort through the remains. You found bits and pieces, and you think how much they would have been worth to slowly build a home out of the rubble. How peaceful the struggle for survival would be. Waiting at the edge of the sea for tide to bring you little trinkets, maybe some fish or sanity. Yes, that would be peaceful, the struggle for survival. How strange it would be to give up the complexities of normal life and watch it burn and drown. For how beautiful must the end of the world be. Thank you.
My name is Ollie, and this is my piece, Teenage Girl Writes Another Angsty Poem. Please, in November, let me shed my skin like the cicada in summer. Let me purge myself, turn my flesh inside out like the butterfly in chrysalis. Teach me to use pens with good ink, because you can always draw on yourself. In a week, when my last one runs out, take me to the bathtub hand in hand, turn the shower on to the highest heat, and leave. I will stand on the edge until the waters run cold, only then will I let myself go. In December, I will wake up again, no longer a stranger to myself. I will peel myself off of the floor, a disgusting little thing. It'll be a while before I go outside again.
Hi, my name is Madison Rowley, and I'll be reading my first poem, Black Cherry Merlot. Vampire red lips bled through the ivory white sheets. I dream this as I sleep. The necklace is gold with a touch of cold. Nothing makes sense. My mind is a blur. Forever and ever, one sip for her. These are the words I wrote down after waking from a vivid dream of beauty nonsense. The tint of her lips were odd and made no sense. Black cherry Merlot smeared down her chin against the ivory white skin, and bruises scattered down my legs with blood-coated hips. I was numb. Veins splattered around the bruises, pale skin with tiny visions.
Hi everyone, my name is Jay. I'm a returning senior. This piece I wrote. It's inspired by a pretty cool piece called How to Stage Dive by Dessa. 10 Commandments on How to Go to Church. 1. Receive a hand-me-down car from parents. 2. Wait till age 18. Church is only designed for those who are adults after all. 3. Work for 6 days straight, driving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth across the metro, delivering people's groceries. 4. Listen to the hymns beforehand. Everyone sings along in church. People dance like they don't have a spirit to pour in the fountain, but they do. They do. 5. Packing close to people, feel the warmth of bodies packed into a square space together. Packing close to people, feel the air practically hum with conversations, breath upon the lips of others. Smell the scent of sweat, perfume, dry shampoo. Packing close to people, feel the goosebumps, the hair in each pore sticking straight out from your skin as the energy rises and buzzes as you see the screen start to lift, up and up, ascending. 6. Scream and cry as loud as you can. This isn't something you get to do every day. 7. Bottled energy. Save it for the days when you can't feel it. When you feel like your spirit is sucked out by the office cubicle that pays the bills, or the bland meals you meal prep every Sunday. Bottle it for the days you can't get up off the couch and feel like a lump of lead. Bottle it for when the spirits of others have all been poured out. 8. Live in the moment. Feel the pure energy, the spirit, the feeling coursing through your veins. Bounce with the crowd. Leave the feeling of shame and embarrassment with the doors. You don't need them here. Feel the nourishment of the sounds, the emotions, the electricity of your nerves in your body, the heat of muscles moving and the heart thumping along with the bass. 9. Cheer extra loud at the end of the sermon shared by the saxophone. Repeat the end of the psalm extra loud with the rest of the crowd. When you sway in time with the rhythm, move with the neighbor to your left and the neighbor to your right. 10. When the service is done, go talk to the pastor and ministers. They're likely to stand at the pulpit-shaped booth, and you can gain insight into questions you had and ones you didn't even think of from them. Then bottle up the feeling and go home until you hear the church bells tolling again. Thank you.
Hi again. This is called Cigarettes. Content warning for cigarettes, ironically. I puffed out the smoke. Connie and I were sitting on the roof, stars twinkling in the distance. I looked over at her, her curly hair just about reaching her shoulders. She had this wonderful smile on her face that made me want to smile too. I took another drag of my cigarette and passed it over to her. I'm quitting, you know, she said, looking over at me. I just laughed at her. You said that for the last month. Come on. What a bad influence, I swear. She put it to her lips and I wished I was that cig. Yeah, I trailed off. I bit my lip, taking the cigarette back, holding it between my pointer and the middle, my middle. Connie was looking at me. I felt her eyes on my side, but I didn't want to look. She knew I didn't want to look. Connie nudged my side a few times. I finally turned to her. She had these eyes that said everything that she wanted to say. I changed the topic that wasn't there. The view is really pretty. This is kind of random, but do you ever wish you could freeze a moment and just stay there? Because I feel that right now. I just can't believe that you're leaving in a week. Yeah, I get it. I can't really either. She pulled her knees to fit under her chin. You know, it's crazy to think that we've only known each other for a few months. I know, right? It feels like I've known you forever. She leans over to put her head on my shoulder and I can smell her perfume. Cinnamon and apples, like always. I'm glad we met. She looks up at me earnestly. I smile softly, the twinkle not quite reaching my eyes. She could tell. She could always tell. Hey, what's that look for? She whispers. Just wish we could stay like this. I'll still be friends with you. You know what I mean. She stopped leaning on me and looked onto the horizon. The sun was just starting to peek out from behind the trees and buildings. The birds were waking up too. They've all started moving forwards and I'm stuck here where I've always have been. And now Connie is leaving too. We stayed there in silence for a few moments, letting the birds tweet and the winds blow through her hair. My long skirt ruffled in the wind, pressing softly against my legs. I'm gonna miss you. Yeah? Yeah. She smiled at me with her entire face. I'm gonna miss you too. You're one of my best friends. The small smile on my face dropped. I should have known better than to get my hopes up. I wish I wasn't. It slipped. No, more poured out. What do you mean? I sighed. You know what I mean. I couldn't look at her in the eyes anymore. She reached out and touched my hand. I do, it's just, she sighed. I'm leaving. I can't. I know you're leaving, that's the problem. She looked at me in this way I couldn't quite pinpoint. The problem is that I've loved you ever since I met you. You're amazing, you're sweet, kind, and funny, and you've got the smile that is, and the way that your hair looks in the wind, like today. I groaned. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm sorry. She cut my face with her hand. Her ring slightly pressed into my cheek, only slightly hurting. I forgive you. She leaned in closer to me, and I could feel her breath on my face. It smelled like smoke. And we kissed. It wasn't that satisfying. It was two mouths pushed up against each other, hands in each other's hair, the saliva mixing in her mouth. It wasn't a fairy tale kiss. If anything, I've had better. Connie pulled away from me first. I stare at her. She stares back before looking away, taking the cigarette out of my hand and smoking some more before snuffing it out on the roof. Connie, I say, half expecting silence as a response. Yeah? Are we dating now? Or what are we? I glance at my shoes, dangling over the roof of her house. She gives a little hum before saying, well, same as we always have been, friends. I sigh before chuckling softly. I kind of expected this. You know, my friends were right about you, and how you treat me. She doesn't seem all that interested. Damn, well, I hope moving to New York helps you mature. I grab my pack of cigarettes that were left and start heading back to the window we came in from. She grabbed my wrist. Wait, come on, I'm sorry, I'm just stressed. Seriously? You like me and then you don't like me and now you do. You are so confusing. Fine, Go be that way. Blame everything on me. I'm the problem here. Not the fact that you think you're in love with me, not the fact that you're so codependent that it's genuinely a problem, not the fact that you're absolutely insane. I shake my hand off her wrist. Bye, Connie. I don't look back as I climb through the window.
Hi, sorry again, and this is my second piece, Monopsis. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Okay. Waist deep in this flower bed, grown from lonely tears, I tug on each stem to dig up my forgotten fears. Night after night, I read out the things they don't want in me, thinking one day they'll see how pretty I can be. Waist deep in this soundless sea of quiet desperation, I wade into the depths and drown in perspiration. Night after night, I swallow their salted words, drowning. One day, they'll pick me first in this fish-filled sea. Waist deep in clothes too large for my broken frame, I crawl into holes dark enough to feel my shame. Night after night, I fall for their empty promises, smiling. One day, they'll regret their dishonesty. One day, they'll want me for me, and one day I can say that I agree. I am waist deep in time and hourglass sand. I remember every joy while they slip through my hands. Day after day, I learn to lose in this game with no winner, knowing someday I will know what real love means. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Madison, and I'll be reading my second poem, titled Your Fingerprint on My Heart. My skin unzips and my organs spill out onto the red velvet rug. My vital fluid seeps into the velvet carpet, washing over the original shade. He carries me over as my feet dangle, hitting over every doorframe. I softly lay down on the bed, and a kiss is placed on my frontal lobe with lace. My hands in a knot, showing our everlasting love against pain. He looks at me with rage, yet his eyes are so pure, filled with torture and ache. Scratching at my skin, drawing blood, playing finger paint. Looking over with me with a malicious grin, saying, it'll only hurt for a bit. Prying my abdomen open, poking around for a key of your shamefulness. Screams of terror exit my body. Hovering over me makes me feel like you are coming towards my skull. My eyes are held open to watch him dissemble my flesh and bones. He ate my heart, and then he ate my brain. Then he chucked my blood down like a drain. He is a monster in my bed and not only in my head.
Hi, it's Emma again. The second poem I'll be reading is called Caramel Macchiato. When you tear me apart, will you drive your nails deep into my brain? The beautiful crimson drains from my tainted vein. Will the blood on your teeth stain? Suck me dry. Layer by layer, my bones are presented. You see the decay. Without you, there is no light. There is no day. My body has wilted me from the inside. The beautiful flower of my life is no longer on display. The plaque from your sweet teeth infect my body. My organs are ground like coffee. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rowan, and this is my piece, Star and Soul. You have functioned the same every day these past few years. You have eaten, you have slept, you have looked into the eyes of the sun and felt pain. You have slipped into your rubber-soled shoes and traversed gravel and pavement alike. You have cloaked yourself in polymer, thrown shades over your eyes, and forgone walking for a quicker mode of transport. You have been stuck in traffic. You have crept slowly forward. You have waited in long lines and you have been in a crowded room. You have woken up to fall asleep and fallen asleep to wake up. You have partaken in a self-centric cycle, different every day, of numbers clacking and drab walls licking the side of the curb. You've seen this. You're familiar with the gray monotone life sometimes takes on. You're confident in your ability to navigate it, in your ability to say to yourself that life isn't always a mountain bike to your whimsical cabin in the middle of the woods, your canoe waiting to take you someplace quiet and calm. But at some time or another, you will notice something.
You will wake up one day and something will feel strange, off kilter. One day you will notice yourself staring at the stars again. And that night, that fateful night, you will understand. There is no way to explain this understanding. There is no way to explain the way it tears through you, the way your body must adjust to something so cataclysmic in one moment. There isn't a single thing anyone could tell you to prepare you. It is a battlefield you must brave alone. You will be staring at the stars, and that night, when you fall asleep, you will dream a dream that will send shockwaves into the universe, bouncing back through the stars, their voices intermingling, sending back a star song bigger than anything you have ever heard. You will be high, up there, and you will not know how to come back down. Do not be afraid. This is expected. Space will warp your sense of self, and you will float up there with all the old philosophers who thought the mind was different from the body, that the nerves were simply the roadway for something entirely cosmic, that we are the entire ocean in a drop. Space is something you have not seen before. It is normal to have gone your whole life not knowing how large you really are. Stardust is not commonplace in gray streets and stone houses. You must learn to move beyond. And you have. By God, you have. Your muscles will contract and your heart will become something different. It will not be familiar to you, but it will be all right. When you wake up, you will go about your day, but soon enough, you will find yourself looking into another person's eyes, and you will realize that there is something unchanging there. Something entirely unchanging. It will feel as if the spiniest spiral is wrapping its tendrils around you in a forceful quest to shake you, alter you forever. Maybe you're already changed, and there is nothing you can do to stop it. This is okay. It will feel as if the world is ending, and in a way, it is. This is okay too. Sometimes lying on your bed is the most efficient portal to the brain. Sometimes breathing is the most earth-shattering thing you can do. Sometimes the brain and the breath intermingle, and that is where the magic happens. You will know in this moment of realization that this magic of brain and breath is happening to you. You will be shocked to discover that both are now elevated, that air has taken on a new life outside of what you have named it. You will feel that speckles of star matter have fused themselves to the walls of your lungs, that every way in and out of your body has a nebula of crashing fog written all over it, that you are no longer just one person from one planet. People will say that this discovery lies in love. This is only partly true. This truth cannot be diluted to a monogamous exchange, to a wedding vow, to a house, or even a home. This truth lies in the ground you step on, in the crashing comets from the galaxy over. This truth lies in the solid, absolute, undeniable fact that the entire universe is one large, perfect circle. That math and music and the ocean with its tide and the way that you sleep with your back to the wall are all made of one thing. That there is a force at work here, and ever since you arrived, you've felt it. That you are not a visitor. That you have always been here. And isn't that something, you will think, that we are all made of one thing, and you will think that is all. But in your heart, you will know that it is only the beginning. You will feel the realization roll off of you in waves, in the way that the wind sweeps over your shoulders, in the way that leaves cascade down from a tree, but also in the way that people stay hungry, in the way dirt sticks to skin, and in the way people leave before you're ready. Your birthright lies in being born starving. It is nothing short of a prerequisite for a young animal aware enough to name planets. You are the heir apparent to consciousness, and it is written all over your forehead. This will allow you to see many things. You will see that the moment you recognize there are an infinite number of things going on is the moment you were born, is the moment you died, is the way your father looked at you when you were a kid, is the day you realize that nothing is static, but nothing is different. That the atom is the basis of your house, yes, and of you, but that time is not linear and neither are we. That we are one another. That sound and light is you and you are sound and light, and disregard it you will try, but there is nothing in the universe that is not a part of you, and there is not a single part of you that is not the universe. Your inheritance lies in the knowledge that this life is a circle, that it expands infinitely, and that someday soon the sound waves will speak back to you and say, "Come home, child, come home." Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nadia. This is my second piece. My dad called me by the wrong name at the grocery store again. On car rides, he'd ramble on, and I'd wonder how someone could talk so much without saying anything. He'd talk about how he remembers it all, and I'm not sure, maybe if I listened more. He talks about his dad and assures me he's not scared of death, and that he thinks of me all of the time. Once I gave him a paper, he drew what was right in front of him, and that was the most beautiful thing anyone could ever do. I know he just needs someone to hear who he thinks he is, but I'm not there, not anymore. And I'm scared I'll forget how he said my name, and I'm scared he'll forget me. And I'm scared that there won't be someone to think of me all of the time. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Star. This is my second piece, entitled Summer's Odyssey. Grooving to life's vibrations, getting high on the adventure feeling, flipping through radio stations. Chilling on the beach sipping, life a pattern that takes time and healing, grooving to life's vibrations. Nature and peace heal nations, music is the thing that will send me kneeling. Praying for life, no damnation, flipping through radio stations. I make my own creations, from mud that came from some old wet shieling. I dry petals of carnations, grooving to life's vibrations. Nature, please use libation, cleanse me while I lay in my bed thinking, waiting for the waves' flirtations, grooving to life's vibrations. Sea foam and sand give citations, Poseidon could save this dreadful feeling, possibly moving nations, grooving to life's vibrations, flipping through radio stations. Thank you.
I'm Ollie, this is my piece. Mannequin face in a chair behind the desk. I tell her my name. Mondays pass as soon as hair grows. The air a mix of soft exhales and sharp inhales. Half-closed faux wood shades, and by 3:15 I'm a melted pile of flesh on the unfinished basement floor. The cold concrete is not nearly cold enough, and the clean laundry piles and piles on top of me. The laundry basket is full, and I have been here a long time. The car radio tuned to its lowest volume, the whispers of radio hosts talking about the latest global tragedy. Rain on the road, watch the dirty water swirl down the sewage drain. Rain on the road, silent streets and fog in the corners of the window. Rain on the road, water whipping into glass, the rhythmic push of the windshield wipers. On the windowsill is a firefly, blinking. If I follow the firefly outside, it will take me to the shed with soil and the bag of calathea seeds. I will go out there and dig a hole big enough for me to sit in, and I will wait until I have turned a new leaf. Rain on the road, fingers gripping the car door like a child resisting the doctor's office. Checking marks on boxes in an empty waiting room. My finger is bloody from pushing a sewing needle through fabric. It is stained the patch I am putting on pants. Pricked again, in and out, like a ritual. I used to hate sewing by hands. I'm quite fond of it now. Rain on the road, fingers tapping the steering wheel rhythmically, like a ritual. My favorite vase is broken, the vase I had been saving to put my ashes in. The white broom in the corner of the room has bristles like cooked noodles, and in an hour there's a pile of collected glass and dirt from the months I hadn't cleaned. Take a step into the pile of glass, just to know what it feels like. When it doesn't give the feeling I expect, I step down, again, and again and again, until no more skin is left on the bottom of my feet, and my broom turns a deep cherry color. The mess on my bedroom floor has seeped into my bed, under the sheets. The yellow overhead light sifts through the dirty light bulb glass, sitting on my eyes like pounds of bag sand. Sunlight shines through dusty shades, casting striped sunburns on skin. Thank you.
my second poem called Coastal Scenes, which is based off of a painting by Theo van Rieselberg. The mountaintops hum in the buzzing heat as the sun's touch leaves streaks of bleached rock exposed like bone-white marrow. A symphony of crashing waves reflect heaven in its wakes of perfect blue and gold and white that ripple in the breeze. The wind kisses the sea with desires of balanced harmony, and between breaths of air lay a love so cherished. The stars in the night do not compare to the freckles that sigh along your pink-tinged cheeks and nose. Oh, how those wrinkles line your face like dollops of fresh paint that chase the brush in secret whispers. What kind of person am I to seek the promise of love so new that I place my faith in you to worship? If you were my altar, I swear I would give you the very air from my lungs and the blood from my scattered heart. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Danny, and this is the last piece, Come Home, Bull Snake. Laying down, the tall grass rises around, lets us imagine we are reaching up to heaven. But I can't see you through the bush, only feel you in my peripheral emotion. Your woodcut of a tattoo echoes clean, like a whistle tuned specifically to you. There is an inside and an outside to you, slithering, intertwining, biting your own tail so that neither in or out is clear, and one can only look at one at a time. So now I don't feel like looking at you at all. Laying down, the tall grass rising around, I am opening up my everything to you. My eyes, my heart, my mind, maybe my arms, and the dirt is very solid under my head. And I wonder if you are also wishing for a pillow. My hair dances around as it grows, while the years pass by on the prairie, and I repeat the lines that stick, the kinds of things you would say at the ends of things. Laying down, the tall grass rows around, only really once, though the time passes, the stems and leaves stay the same height, stubby hands that never reach heaven. And there are fine lines and wrinkles in the rocks, but no hairline fractures and no keyboards to type on. Nostalgia means homecoming pain, and I realize it is everywhere that we are. I feel it never and always. Laying down, close to the dry, powdery earth, no one would see me as they stepped along, shielded in growth. I'm close enough to you to tread on. Laying down, I realize I've been meaning to get up this whole time, and you are a part of the prairie's roots, not to tread on, but holding up the dirt that supports me. If the roots disappeared, the earth would fall at least 2 feet, like a metal skeleton inside concrete. Standing up, I tell the grass to rise, and the scratchy hitchhiker seeds open up old wounds in my arms, and the tall grass shrinks back down to reveal old bones, settled where you were once parallel to me. It's been too late from the very beginning.
Okay, let's, one more big round of applause for the reader. Thank you again so much for being here. It means a lot to me, it means a lot to us. I would invite you afterwards. I don't know about you, but when I'm listening to some of these pieces, something will hit me, and I'll have a moment, and then it will be gone. And even if I can't quite name it or hold on to it, I know it happened. And I would really encourage you, if you had a moment like that, to approach the writer and say, hey, you were reading it and this thing happened to me, and I'm not sure what exactly it was you said, and I'm not sure what the thing was that happened to me, but it happened and it was cool. That's like a wonderful gift to offer a writer. And if you've got specifics, that's all the better. But you really don't need any. You really just say like, hey, appreciate the thing you did. It would mean a lot. We also have some refreshments. They are very lovingly laid out on the table. Cookies, and by absolute demand. Capri Suns for your enjoyment. Thank you again for being here. Enjoy Majors and Quinn. Yes. Yes, that's also true. I'm sorry. Oh, no worries. It's like, it's in there somewhere. Right, it's next. So you're a writer.
I've written and published with that, but I do write on school.
Okay.
I'm trained by some festival. I went to school. A guy named Michael Ford.
Okay.